It's been 3 years since we visited White Rhino Fabrication Shop in Canton. They have now moved. They're in a new location. They're even closer to the school. So we went out to check out their new shop. Okay. Okay. Crew here. That's the top of line crew.
Trees. So I'm Zach. I work here at White Rhino Fabrication. I've been here a year and a half. My job here is I'm the automotive fabricator. So my background is automotive. I started off as a mechanic and got to a point where now we're building hot rods. So I did it in all can too, basically. Short story. Engine 88s, the biggest wastegates and blow-off valves you've ever seen. Frankenstein water air intercooler. It's going to be water methanol injected. It's going to make a lot of boost, really cool boost, and it's got enough fuel and air to support roughly 2,000 horsepower. I don't think it's got enough engine block currently. Just a customer that wanted a good driver. Wanted something you could be proud of, but something you could get in and drive, just kind of cruise and have fun. So just a small block, nothing special, stock build, Turbo 400 trans. Again, nothing special horsepower or anything like that. We've got the independent front suspension under it, got the 4-link in the rear, so the ride good. So there's really no secrets to the way I've got stuff. You just kind of look at it and go, what do I need to do? And when you think of something, it goes on the board, because if you just kind of willy-nilly do it by the seat of your pants, you forget 90% of the crap that you have to do on the car. So just kind of a basic running list. It's not all inclusive. You know, you'll see stuff like radio. It doesn't include the wiring, the mounting, the whatever, but it just makes my mind think, okay, we need to work on the radio. Simple stuff like that. Like I said, work on wiring, and basically see the biggest text is me leaving notes to myself more than anything.
You could say that you're an artist.
I was actually just about to mention that.
Yeah.
Chris and I were talking about that yesterday.
And this is a canvas.
Yep, absolutely.
And he is painting this hot rod together in the most aesthetic way possible. Clean, functional, and like painting, if you overpaint it, you lose the excitement of the imagination. So he's giving you a clean look that you can sit here and enjoy an uncluttered look. Now, you know, we do have air conditioning, we have hoses, but I'm sure at the end of the day, when we come back here, we're not even going to notice it. He's going to have it so cleaned up. We probably have the air breather is going to look very clean and functional, and this thing's going to look real sano, just like a not overworked painting. Give yourself, a little more aesthetic. And like this guy took time to do his very best. Now there's plenty of shops we see on YouTube that don't know what they're doing. And they use Bondo and fiberglass and tin, and they do skanky motor mounts, and it's horrible. And it's cause they're trying to make a quick buck. Now if you go into this business saying, I'm going in for the money, you're going to make a mistake. You need to do it because it's your passion. You love doing it. The money will come because they see your work and they say, I want this guy. He's the best in Central Mississippi.
You go into an art museum, and really like passionate people about art can look at a painting and just know who it is without ever seen the painting before because of the brush strokes. So I always say, like, we're artists building cars, and we all have our own particular brush strokes. So you'll pick up on some of these really high-end, very famous builders. You can start to look at a car and know they've built it because they like to use this material here. They like to do this type of way, that type of way. And that's kind of with all trades. It's not just building hot rods, but you end up having something that makes you unique. And that's like I talked about of different materials, kind of round stock for doing lathe work. We keep over in the lathe area. We've got some bar stock down there for mill work. Over on this big rack, we got a lot of our square and round tubing, angle wire, and things. fabricators build a lot with tubing. So
Right.
be square around. You know, we see this tube chassis over here. We do a lot with tubing. That's one thing I've really grown to love is doing tube leave. Like 2 days ago, I had a customer bring a truck in. They wanted a winch bumper for it. So took some measurements off of it, walked over to my computer, got on SolidWorks, designed it all out, took my design, sent it over here, cut it, took it to this machine behind you, which is our press brake. It's a 130-ton press brake. Bent the metal in every which shape I needed, took it over to my welding table, welded it all out, sent it to powder coat. So that's kind of beginning to end, getting to do the whole process. Would have been a great example, but so I was the guy in high school that was literally dreaming about building rock buggies like that. Thought, hey, how am I going to do that? There's no industry for that in Mississippi, whatever. So I went off to college. While I was in college, I got a part-time job at a local classic car dealership, and I was turning wrenches on old cars, just fixing them up. And then through a mutual friend, found out about this place, and learned that they were hiring. But it was because of that background I had working on those classic cars that got me to the front of the line as far as preference on hiring. And I was the last person to interview with Chris. Chris hired like 7 or 8 other people, and I was the last person to interview. And finally, I was able to speak with him. And it was because of that background I had that he was like, okay, I had zero experience welding. I had zero experience of anything remotely pertaining to fabrication, but I knew how to work on old cars. And it was just that experience and the drive that he could tell I had speaking to him, that he was like, okay, I'll take a chance. I'll take you under my wing. I'll teach you everything because you know nothing. So I've come a long way since I've started here. But yeah, just getting your foot in the door, going to do an apprenticeship, do something, learn every way you can, spend sleepless nights on YouTube. Because I did that. Like I said, never picked up a welder a day in my life, but I knew everything about TIG welding. Wanted to be the best TIG welder in the world, so I had never struck an arc before, but I knew specific details. And that was when I, talking to Chris. He's like, "Can you weld?" I said, "No," but we got talking about welding. He's like, "Oh, okay, you've studied a lot." So that's just a great place to start, learn everything, and get some time in the industry if it's what you want to do.